Will San Antonio home prices go down in 2025? We're going to get into answering that question right now. So, and when answering that question, what I want to do is I want to visit a few different data points in the San Antonio housing market. And the first data point I want to look at when answering that question is new listings. So as you can see right here with the new listing data, if we go back to 2022 and we look at the peak of new listings, the highest number of new listings we had, it started out in May of 2022, and the median list price, the most typical list price these new listings had, was $323,000. Okay, that was the peak of 2022. And fast forward to 2023, and we peaked in the April-May timeframe. We'll call it April, $314,000, $315,000 if we're rounding up. And fast forward to 2024, we had kind of a wonky period here where we peaked in April and then June. So we'll call it June that we peaked $310,000. Now, if we're looking at this visually, we're seeing that the peak for each of those years is on a downward trajectory here. Okay, we're moving down. So home prices have come down. They have been coming down for some time now, mainly due to the higher interest rates. And this little triple peak here that we're seeing here, I'm attributing that to the cuts that we had last year in interest rates. We're not quite sure where the cuts are going at that point. Down here towards the tail end of the year of 2024, we definitely had an interesting period there around August timeframe, July, August timeframe. Things were really slow then. And I think this year, what we're anticipating is that we're not going to see as many interest rate cuts. And we're going to see that in some of the data, kind of like this here. And it's telling us that the market wants the interest rate cuts. The housing market wants the interest rate cuts at least, okay? But they're not able to do that because of the inflation scares. Answering that question again, will housing prices come down in 2025 in San Antonio? We look at active listings, okay? What does the active listings data tell us? These are the listings that are no longer new. They've been on the market for weeks or months. So we peaked in active listings in June, July timeframe, May through July. We peaked at $330,000 in 2022. And then in 2023, we peaked in the number of active listings that we were holding in the market, May, June timeframe at $325,000. That was the list price then. And then again in June of 2024 was our peak of $310,000. And again, as you can see, these are the active listings. These are the ones that weren't actually selling. And every year they've gotten cheaper. So home prices, when you consider active listings, prices are coming down in San Antonio. Okay. New pending listings. We'll skip right to the pending listings because it's about the same thing. Those are newly pending listings. Pending listings, again, May of 2022. These are all under contract and ready to close. Peaked here at $317,000 for 2022. And then 2023, we peaked at $310,000 in June. And then in 2024, we actually rose here in the pending listings as far as price at $319,000. Okay, so I think there was some optimistic looking forward there, optimism there, because we had some lower interest rates towards the middle of the summer there because we had interest rate cuts. But then moving forward into sold listings in San Antonio, these homes sold. Again, May of 2022, $317,000. And in June timeframe, June, July timeframe, we peaked for sold listings at $305,000. Fast forward to 2024, again, $305,000. Again, I think that's the time period we had some lower interest rates in 2024, which they've gone up recently, despite the Fed rate cut that we had this last fall here in winter. So, will home prices come down in 2025 here in San Antonio? I think the answer is if everything remains the same, if we continue to see higher interest rates for longer, if we don't get into the 5.9% range, I think we're looking at some more lower prices in 2025. By how much, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be anything dramatic. I don't think you're going to see a huge drop in home prices, but subtle softening of home prices continuing to move forward, especially as inventory rises. And I want to show you one more thing here. So you can see that inventory rising here in this graph. 2022, okay, November of 2022, we had 3 months worth of inventory, just over 3 months of inventory. 2023, a little over 4 months of inventory. And then 2024, about 4.5 months of inventory. Let's see, November, June, July, September. Here we go. November 2024, 4.34 months worth of inventory. So steadily increasing inventory. If this continues, if we continue to see a steady increase in inventory, that could make it interesting. I don't know how long we're going to see that. If we see a full year of that, potentially that could have an effect, a further effect on home prices, because the more inventory you have, the more competition you have amongst sellers. Okay, so if you're a home seller and just kind of thinking about selling, maybe now is the time. It's going to get more. Typically there's going to be more competition as the summer months heat up and more people bring their houses on the market. But this whole time here, we've been continuing to put more inventory on the market and more inventory on the market. We had a whole lot of expired listings in December, January timeframe. You look at some of those sellers bringing their homes back on the market. So what's good for buyers? More inventory is here. Yes, interest rates are higher, but there's more to choose from. So if you have any questions about that, reach out, 210-260-6617. Or until next time, God bless.